All right, let's try this again. So we're picking up where we left off. I'm entering 4.25 here. Present value, negative 15,000. Payments, we're not making a payment. We're going to be calculating our future value. There are 12 compoundings a year. That's because it says it's monthly compoundings per year, and we want it at the end. And so the way you figure out this future value is alpha solve, and it will figure out where you end up at. Now, you can plug it in the other formula as well, but it's kind of nice to learn how to use this thing. As long as you know a few things, that's got to be negative, and how to put in your end. Everything else calculates for you. Okay, so let's keep going here. So you know what the investment is worth. Notice it says for IB examinations, list of correct entries works for the method. So make sure you write what you put in your calculator, then you can use your calculator. Hey, Lena has 50,000. She wants to know how much to collect. So she wants to end up with 50,000 at the end of 3 years. How much does she need to deposit now? Compounded quarterly. So K is 4. 3 years, that'd be 12 compoundings. So when we put it in our calculator, we put the numbers that are here. 3 times 4 is 12. Interest rate, 5.2. And this is how financial advisors usually figure things out. We don't know the present value. We want to figure that out. We're not making payments. We want to end up with 50,000. So how much do I need to put in now? I'm compounding quarterly. So I'm going to do whatever I do alpha solve for, that's going to find out. I want to find out how much I got to put in now. So I go alpha solve. So I need to put $42,820.99. Always round to the nearest cent. Don't give a decimal value. That's a whole dollar amount. They round it up to the next dollar. Stop and make sure you get those numbers to show up on your calculator. Help each other out. Alpha solve. Okay. How much must Crow Magnuson invest? How long must he invest it? So we're going to be finding the amount of time. So there's there's twice a year compounding. We want to end up with $10,000. So we're going to find out the number of periods required. So in this case, we got to change a few things on our calculator. Whoa. So I don't know the compoundings. The interest rate, 6.45. Present value, negative 4,000. We're not making payments. We want to end up with 10,000. So we're trying to find out half yearly interest. How many years is it going to take? So I'm going to do alpha solve. Now notice it says 28.87. 29.5 years. So since K was 2, to get your final answer, it's 14.5 years. So you have to understand what K stands for to do this. Okay, 2.5 years in the account, total 6,000. What annual interest rate was paid? So we know 2.5 times 12 is 30 months because it's a monthly compounding. Again, I want to put this in my calculator. I know there's 30 compoundings. I'm going to be finding the interest rate, so I'm just going to put 0 there. Present value, negative 5,000. No payments. I want to end up with 6,000. And I'm putting in 12 for each. So I'm solving for the interest rate. What interest rate do I need to get? So there's my interest rate. Double check to make sure all your numbers are right. $7.32. So with your partner, work this one out. 2,000 at 3.8 compound interest after 5 years versus quarterly instead of annually. And then how long will it take you to reach $1 million? So the future value here, when you do it, is $2,341.15. That's only going to be 5 because 5 years, once a year, that's putting in 5 for N. And if you do it quarterly, you end up with a little bit more. Notice it's not that big of a difference. And then if you want to end up with $1 million, this tells you how long it's going to take to get there. It's going to take a long time on this one. You probably need to put a little bit more in unless you plan on living a long time. So again, when you're finding these different amounts, you're using your alpha solve differently. So like on this one, we're trying to figure out how long. We know it's 3.2. Present value, negative 2,000. Known payments. Future value, $1 million. And on the second one, we're compounding 4 times a year. So I'm gonna solve for the time. Alpha solve 779, and I divide that by 4 to get my years. So that's where the years number comes from. Get those numbers to work out. This is you got to play it again, play it again. Okay, that's it. You should be able to do the whole worksheet now. You also could search online for TVM Solver if you want some more help with that.